Hey guys, this is Angelo. Today I want to share the biggest lessons that I learned from the book The Complete Guide to Fasting. The book was written by two well-respected and well-known people in the low-carb community, Dr. Fung and Jimmy Moore. I really enjoyed this book and learned a lot that I can't wait to try out in future fasting experiments. I'm sure I'm not doing this book justice, so if you're interested in anything related to fasting, make sure to check it out either on Audible as an audiobook, which is the way that I listen to it, or as an ebook or a physical book. Before attempting fasting, no matter what duration, you should check with your doctor first, especially if you're on medications for type 2 diabetes or any other condition, as taking medication to lower blood sugar in combination with fasting is really dangerous, as fasting in itself lowers blood sugar as well. Okay, let's get into it. Here are the biggest lessons that I learned that I want to share with you. The history of fasting. Even ancient civilizations like the Greeks realized that there was something highly beneficial to regular fasting. Hippocrates once wrote that obese people should only eat once a day and thus fast for 24 hours. Ancient writer Plutarch said, instead of using medicine, better fast today. In the 1700s, Benjamin Franklin said, the best of all medicines is resting and fasting. And finally, Mark Twain wrote, a little starvation can do more for the average sick man than can the best medicines and the best doctors. For millions of people across the world, regular fasting is normal and has been part of their culture and spiritual practice for thousands of years. Before that, fasting was simply part of life. Eating all the time is just not normal. Despite its long traditions, its many advantages and its effectiveness, fasting as a tool for weight loss has been virtually extinct for the last 30 plus years, because there's simply no money to be made by the food and pharmaceutical industry when people don't eat anything. As with everything, there are many myths when it comes to fasting as well. Unlike when deliberately consuming less calories on a low-fat diet, fasting does not decrease your energy expenditure or basal metabolic rate. In fact, metabolism even speeds up, which makes sense from an evolutionary perspective to help you find food. Just like with a ketogenic diet, when you don't eat, your body uses your energy reserves, your body fat, as fuel. We did not evolve to eat 3 to 7 meals a day. Fasting does not make you burn muscle. We store excess food as body fat and later access that energy reserve when no food is available. Muscle is only used for energy when your body fat drops below 4% and your body has no other choice. For example, real-world studies show that alternate day fasting for 70 days led to a reduction of fat mass by 11.4%, while lean mass, meaning bones and muscles, did not change at all. Fasting does not cause overeating. While you might eat slightly more calories in your first meal after the fast, that doesn't get nearly close to the calories you were able to burn from your own fat stores during the fast. Next, there's usually no need to be worried about nutrient depletion for fasts that last up to 24 hours. As you can easily make up for whatever meals you missed during that time frame by eating nutrient-dense food before and after your fast. For longer fasts, Dr. Fung recommends taking a daily multivitamin just to be on the safe side. Actually, the longest ever recorded fast lasted an astounding 382 days, and a simple daily multivitamin was enough to prevent any vitamin deficiencies. And here's the last one. Yes, women benefit from fasting too, just like men do. Virtually all studies confirm that there's very little difference as to how effective fasting is between women and men. Many of Dr. Fung's greatest success stories are in fact women. Still, women should never fast during pregnancy or when breastfeeding. The advantages of fasting. You might know many of these from a ketogenic diet, as you get approximately 70% of the benefits from fasting from doing keto. Improved mental clarity, better concentration, weight and fat loss, lower blood sugar levels, increased insulin sensitivity, higher energy expenditure, lower cholesterol, Alzheimer's prevention, life extension, reversing the aging process, and a decrease in inflammation. According to Dr. Fung, fasting works so well for his patients as it's easier for them to handle than, let's say, a ketogenic diet, as the rules are very simple. Just eat nothing, drink coffee, water, tea, bone broth, and that's it. Plus, it can be done at any time, anywhere, for free, and it's very powerful. It even helps people who are on a ketogenic diet and are struggling to lose weight to break through a weight loss plateau. Here's why. Every macronutrient raises insulin, carbs the most and fat the least. But fat still causes a very small insulin response. Not eating anything does not, and can thus be an even more powerful tool to unlocking your fat reserves for energy, especially if you're suffering from severe insulin resistance. Here's who should not fast. People who are severely malnourished, underweight, if for example you have a BMI of less than 20, children under 18, pregnant women, breastfeeding women. You should seek the advice of a healthcare practitioner in general before attempting a fast, but it's especially important if you have type 1 or type 2 diabetes, gout, GERD, or if you have any other medical condition and you're taking medications. Some fasting tips. There is no best fast. They all work to different degrees for different people. Someone might do really well on intermittent fasting, while someone else might prefer fasts that last over 24 hours. Longer fasts give quicker results but are usually done less often. You have to find what fits best into your lifestyle and what gives you the best results. You can usually expect an average fat loss of approximately half a pound per day of fasting. What is more than that is usually water weight. When fasting, stay busy and don't look at food pictures or anything related to eating. Be conscious of the fact that hunger comes in waves and then dissipates again. Just think of that feeling when it's lunchtime, but you're still busy at work and 1 hour later you're not hungry anymore. When that feeling of mostly fake hunger arises, have a cup of coffee, tea or bone broth instead. Also, hunger is often due to our conditioning. That is why you don't get hungry in the morning after you get used to intermittent fasting and you're accustomed to having your first meal at lunchtime. Avoid all sweeteners during a fast, artificial and natural, as they can trigger hunger as well as an insulin response. When you break a fast that's 24 hours or longer, start with a small snack like some raw vegetables or some nuts about half an hour before you have a big meal and slowly chew your food. This will help you not overeat and avoid stomach discomfort after a big meal. Here's what Dr. Fung recommends and allows his patients during a fast. At least 2 liters of fluids per day. Water, tea, coffee. He also allows his patients to add a teaspoon or 2 of either full-fat heavy cream or coconut oil in their tea or coffee. Spices like cinnamon and nutmeg can also be added. Homemade bone broth, which makes fasting easier and can help prevent salt deficiency during longer fasts. But you shouldn't add bouillon cubes that are full of artificial flavors and glutamate. However, if you're not happy with your progress, go back to only drinking water and eliminate all other sources of calories. Types of fasting. Intermittent fasting. You probably all know this one by now. The way many people like to intermittently fast, me included, is by skipping breakfast and thus fasting from dinner the previous day at 7 to 8 p.m. for example, and then not eating until lunch the next day for a total duration of the fast of approximately 60 plus hours. Since many people tend to not be hungry in the morning, it's one of the easiest fasting methods to implement. 24-hour fasting. My girlfriend Jofi and I even recorded a 24-hour fast, so if you're interested in that, check it out. This one can also be comparatively easily implemented into everyday life, as you can, for example, have dinner at 6 p.m. on one day and then have your next meal at 6 p.m. the following day after you get back from work. Alternate day fasting. Here you fast every other day until you reach your desired weight. After that, you can reduce the amount you fast as long as you're able to maintain your ideal weight. Longer fasts can be even more powerful, but should be closely monitored, and you should talk to your doctor first if you have any health condition. Blood sugar should be checked between 2 to 4 times a day, as there's both the potential for high as well as low blood sugar, especially when taking medication. Many of Dr. Fung's patients use either 36, 42 or even 7 to 14 day fasts if they want to lose weight quickly. For fasts that last longer than 24 hours, he advises taking a multivitamin to prevent any vitamin deficiencies. When fasting, the second day seems to be the hardest in terms of hunger. After that, hunger seems to decrease and then almost disappear, which could be because of high ketone levels in the blood. According to Dr. Fung, a 14-day fast delivers 7 times the results of a 2-day fast, while only being slightly more difficult, as the second day is usually the hardest. After doing a longer fast, he usually advises his patients to switch to an alternate day fasting regimen for at least 2 weeks before attempting another extended fast. Our own experience with fasting. My girlfriend Jofi and I do intermittent fasting 6 days a week and usually only have breakfast 1 day a week, mostly out of convenience. We really love how we feel when fasting, and the extra time we gain from not having to prepare food or think of food is a big plus for us. Sometimes we add some MCT oil, coconut oil or butter to our morning coffee, and other times we just drink it black. We also did a couple of 24-hour fasts together, during which we only consume water, coffee, tea, in this case without added fat, as well as some bone broth. We have seen some great results from 24-hour fasts, and for us they're a great way to help burn whatever fat we might have gained during a vacation of binging in Italy, for example. We are really excited about trying longer fasts of 2 days or more after reading this book. I only covered a very small portion of the book. If you're interested in anything related to fasting, I highly recommend you check out the book by Dr. Jason Fung and Jimmy Moore and support their work. The book is also filled with amazing success stories and studies to back everything up. I put a link to it in the description below. Alright, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I'll see you soon.